in, everyone, to episode 249 of the Battlecast podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng. Drove with HurricaneKaz, Twastell. Steve is on another escapade.
Me and Steve are back to avoiding each other again.
You know, it's not like I won Kaz's corner finale. I got no bonuses to use.
Once again, Mittens is here to take the place of the
Mittens, look up.
The cats.
I know he can't hear me. Instead of looking up, he just stares down.
Yeah, he's just like, put me down, human.
He's got similar vibes as Cheggy does. But okay, me and Kaz freshly back from Orlando, or somewhat. Today is the 9th of the Thursday, so potentially we've been back for a few days. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So I'm sure people want to hear about some things because it was an interesting tournament weekend. Let's just put it that way.
It was. Hey, I was on stream. That was fun.
Dude, I think you're undefeated on stream, right?
Yeah, because I've only been on there twice.
That's still pretty good. Some people are winless on stream.
The first time,
I think Tristan was until NAIC last year.
Yeah. The first time I was on stream, there was a guy, like the guy I was facing. He wasn't. He was a new player, but like he had clearly like put together a decent team. You know, it's not like he didn't know what he was doing, but he was newer to, I think, like Pokemon Go PvP. But he was a very nice opponent. And then this time they made me battle my friend first thing in the morning. Very rude.
Well, the funny thing is, it wasn't even your call time. I was like, "Why are you late? Why are you late?" And then I realized, oh wait, you're a way later group. They just want to feature you.
I'm way early, man.
Yeah, which, hey, you know what? I'm glad you all were awake for that. I mean, same time zone at least, but
yeah.
You know,
well, funny enough, we were planning on going there early anyway because we just didn't want to take we were in it was me and Sushi in a room with Jay Tally and Jigglybuff, and like Jigglybuff had to be there super early. And then Jay Tally had like kind of the middle call time, and then me and Sushi, obviously in the same group, had the latest. But we were like, we might as well get up and like go with Justin because I don't want to take like a third Uber.
Okay.
Because we were staying over at Disney, so we were a little bit further away. So we were actually planning on being there somewhat early for our call time. But then, we both got that message, and we're like, "Oh my god, okay, well, I guess let's go."
You're lucky Sushi didn't just turn off your phone alarm, lock you in the room, head out.
Well, you probably didn't know what the bracket was until the morning, right?
Well, actually, we did get a little spoiled on it because it did release for a few minutes, and people took screenshots and were sharing them with us, which was very rude because me and her are both kind of not looking at it. We don't want to know.
But sometimes it scrambles too afterward.
Exactly. We thought, and because we got that spoiler, and we thought hopefully it'll reshuffle and we won't be paired up. Maybe we're in the same group, but hopefully this is not final. But then inevitably it was, which was very, very rude. I mean, I love Sushi. She's one of my best friends in the Pogo scene, and I think she's probably the main reason that I started battling so much in the Atlanta area. So we've always been scrim partners, friends. We're on the same team in Battle Frontier, so it's just ridiculous how much we talk about this game.
Yeah. That's if I battle Tristan on stream.
Yeah. And I swore that she was gonna do way better than me because she was actually practicing in the car. I can't play games in the car. I can't read in the car. I can't do anything. But she was doing practice tournaments and scrims and stuff. So I was like, man, I'm gonna get wailed on.
Quick to low.
Yeah, but and I didn't know her team either. We hadn't really discussed it too much. But my Feraligatr, I remember looked really good, so I just had to kind of maintain alignment with that. And
they were good battles.
Yeah.
Wait, did I interview you last time you won too?
No, it was Phoebe.
Okay,
because you were commentating.
Yeah.
Phoebe was.
I am 2 for 2 at commentating or interviewing you after your stream matches. So
yeah, the degrees of separation are getting way smaller.
Caleb's your good luck charm.
No, I think just being on stream is our own good luck. Man, if it was you and Elam instead, you could have probably won that one too,
I know, right? I looked back on my battles with Elam, and I know exactly what I should have done differently, but like in the moment I was just like so frustrated with like
That you had to play him.
yeah, that I had to play him at all. Like,
I would be.
well, and I had waited like after, because me and Sushi had gone so early. The
Oh, you
rest of our
probably waited for
bracket,
hours, right?
I
Yeah.
waited like 3 hours, man. So
Those
and by
3
that
hours to
time,
prep for Elam's team.
I know, right? Like I should have, but unfortunately,
He had 3 hours to prep for your team because you were on team 3 hours prior.
right? He saw me. He had the intel.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I knew my team would have a hard time with like either Wigglytuff or Guzzlord, and he had both of them, so it was just
Yeah.
really difficult.
The
And he's
Umbreon.
really obviously very talented, so
One could say that.
yeah. One might be able to say that.
Three-time champion.
yeah.
Well, most recently a few weeks ago in Houston. You know.
He's done okay at a couple tournaments.
Yeah, I mean a few.
He like kind of knows this meta.
Let's not inflate it too much, but like a few. But then and then I won a match in the losers round, but then I lost to my second battle, or my second loss was to Shadow Mimikyu, who was also
he's
like
very good. Yeah.
he's also really good, but also he had locked into the Diggersby info that I didn't know about.
Oh,
And
dude,
like
Diggersby was nuts this tournament.
I totally forgot about the new like mudshot counts, so I was just gone. I was just like, I don't know how to count this. There's nothing I can do. So okay, bye,
Yeah,
everybody. But because I made it to losers round 4, I did actually get some points
heck
and some
yes.
cards. So that was
Nice.
cool.
Did you open them?
I haven't actually opened them yet. I
Are
haven't
you
had.
gonna
If you want.
open them, or are you just
You
gonna
could-
like sit on them?
No. I'll probably open them soon. I
You
just
can open
haven't.
them on the podcast if you
Yeah,
like.
yeah. You want me to go grab them?
You can if you want to. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to open a different occasion,
No.
that's
We got plenty that I think we'll be talking about. But
Yeah.
but overall, I mean, my tournament experience was fairly positive. You know, Jigglybuff, my my other good friend here in the Atlanta, regional, first time day 2. He has been working like really hard. Like, I mean, he goes to a lot of locals, so he's been doing a lot of prep, and you know, and he's been really making a concerted effort. So I was so proud of all, you know, seeing all that work like go into such success, especially like several times on stream and with all the technical difficulties that were plaguing his and Arrow's matches particularly, I felt like.
Oh yeah, they rematched a couple of times.
Oh, the first time, like that was actually Jigglypuff's first time on stream was versus Arrow, and then like they had to rematch like 4 times. It was absolutely absurd.
Like first time ever, or
yeah,
really?
Yeah,
I could have sworn I've seen him before.
No. I'm pretty sure that was his first time on stream. And that alone was like kind of a dream come true of his. So so it was a really, really cool day. You know,
he got to be on stream a couple times after that too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was honestly really fun. And then like, but the problem was he made it to day 2, and like honestly, we had been planning on leaving like Sunday morning. Like we weren't even really planning on going to the convention center, and we kept like making jokes like, oh, you know, unless one of us makes day 2. And then he actually went and did it, so we had to it was kind of like a reshuffling of our morning, where we, you know, me and Sushi came to the venue with him earlier to, you know, see how he did in his first few matches, while Justin had the, you know, was very nice to gather our stuff into the car and come and pick us up after we knew we could leave safely.
Yeah.
So and then we drove back to Atlanta. We made great time. There was no traffic because that road between Florida and Georgia is just so rural.
How long did it take you to get back? Because usually it's like 8 hours, right?
Yeah, we left right around noon, and we got back about 7:30ish.
Oh, okay.
No, normally it's like like I think Google says that like if you don't stop and you just go straight there, it's like 6.5 hours. But obviously, we stopped and got some food, stopped for the bathroom a few times because I have the world's smallest bladder, and and yeah, we made it back in good time, and it was still light out when we got back here.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll talk more about Orlando because things happen. But before then, we have some events, so let's talk about that. Tinkaton Community Day. I don't think Tinkaton or Tinkatink community, I should say, but I don't think Tinkaton will be that meta relevant yet in this current meta. But there might be some that try it in future tournaments, right? This is eligible right away, right?
I mean, it's still the 2 week. Everything's 2 weeks.
Yeah, but there's not like another tournament for 2 weeks, right? So.
Well, after this upcoming weekend. Well, when's Prague?
Prague isn't this weekend, is it? I thought it
Prague
was
is like
next
the 25th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it eligible for Prague?
I don't know,
Hold
because
on.
like the way the 2 week rule is written is confusing, and people don't know if it's like you go to the next
I'm so
Tuesday and then
confused
it's
on it.
two
Yeah.
Tuesdays after that, or if it's just
Yeah.
like the second Tuesday after whenever. So it'll either be eligible for Prague or the next weekend. I'm not sure
No,
which.
Prague is not for. If Prague is the 25th, then Tinkaton coming out on the 11th should be like just right to make it available immediately.
Well, because that's the thing I was
if it's
saying.
because if it's only
Because
eligible on the
the way-
following Tuesday, yeah.
Because like the way it's written, everyone's confused, and like because it's unclear if it's like you go to the closest Tuesday and then it's 2 Tuesdays after that, which would make it eligible on the 28th, which is after
Mhm.
Prague, or if it's just like 2 Tuesdays, which should be the 21st, and
Right.
would it be eligible for Prague? So
Oh dang, this is triple stardust too. Okay, let's get into it. We'll find out for people that are going to Prague. We'll probably know by like next week or so, but at the latest. Tinkatink, the Metalsmith Pokemon, April Community Day, April 11th, Saturday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So it's upcoming Saturday. And then, of course, they can be shiny. The attack is Gigaton Hammer.
which looks pretty crazy.
Yeah, trainer battle is 130 power. How much energy do you think this is?
So people are speculating it to be a Precipice Blades Origin Pulse clone.
That's pretty good.
60.
That's pretty good energy.
You can't get back to back. But I mean, I think that's fair because it's not like Tinkaton is the bulkiest either. It just has really good typing. Superior bulk is it's actually
it's like
not
decently
bad,
bulky with
It's
like a lot of resistances too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, so if that's the case, obviously, like, we won't know till Community Day, but that's what people are assuming right now. If that's the case, that's the same energy as Play Rough. And so most likely, most of the time, it's just going to replace Play Rough. Because at that damage value, like, it's way better in neutral matchups than Play Rough. And if it's like a 1-stage effectiveness difference, it's like barely worse damage in cases like that.
It's a steel type move, right?
Yeah.
I think the tough part with it is like stuff like Metacham and Annihilate can beat it now because you just shield the Gigaton Hammer, or I mean, even the running Play Rough, you shield the Play Rough, right? And because you're doing so much neutral damage back with fighting, and then also like running Bulldoze. Bulldoze probably the other move, right? Running Bulldoze Gigaton Hammer just doesn't seem like a great idea in like a water meta, like what do you throw? I mean, Gigaton Hammer probably does more to a Quagsire than a Bulldoze, but like that's still not fun. We have something to hit back against Diggersby, I guess, because Gigaton Hammer is fairly neutral.
Okay, but so like here's the thing, right? Against a Quagsire, Play Rough would do 80 damage, Gigaton Hammer would do 72 damage.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, even at 1 stage worse, it's doing barely less damage than a Play Rough.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like, in the current meta, I'm not sure entirely where it falls.
It could be good in Ultra League, though. I'll give it that.
But is it, I'm trying to look up right now. Is it eligible for the newly released NAIC meta?
Oh, I don't know. But I think that's a whole different story because that's like after June, like the June update, and things can change, right? So like the NAIC meta, I think it's we'll talk more about that, but they did tease it or they did reveal what it is, but like it's really hard to assess what it is.
Because I think Steel type was banned in the NAIC meta.
Yes, it is. You're right. Okay, got it. No, I know. The NAIC meta, it's kind of wild that we get it now, but like we still don't really actually know what it's going to be because there's going to be an update between now and then.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, Plenty of reasons to still play this game. I play Tinkaton Community.
Play this game.
Play this game. Yeah, play this game in general. Yeah. Shiny release, Gigaton Hammer. Definitely evolve it. Like you'll want it,
It's
right?
not the shiny release.
What? Tinkaton's been shiny already?
Yeah.
What? No.
Since
what?
when?
Yeah. Since like Wild Area, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen plenty of people post shiny Tinkatinks like for months now. Like people have like hatched
What?
them. Yeah.
No. What? No.
Yeah.
Let me see. Am I tripping? It's are you sure?
I'm sure.
This is Tristan, not April Fool's no more. Oh yeah, you are right. Yeah, it was released
Really?
in I guess I didn't see it. It's apparently it was released on November 7th at the Nagasaki event, I guess.
Yeah, it's been out for like months.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of people have one, I guess.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it makes sense because it's
Shiny
mostly
Form was
an egg.
released, Go Wild Area, Nagasaki, November 7th. I'm just surprised. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I missed the memo, so I was not trying to hatch that many eggs, but it's fine.
Nope.
Okay, not the debut, but clearly many of us do not have one yet.
I don't have one. I'm just saying I've seen other people have.
No, you're right. You're right. No, you're totally right. Like you're providing the facts here. We're just all shocked.
No, we just don't. Our steel traps
You don't have to clarify
are
nothing.
not.
Yeah, you're providing the right info. This is like when I thought Meltan came out in Scarlet Violet. Okay, so triple Stardust, double candy for catching, double chance for getting XL candy if you're level 31 above. These are all fantastic bonuses because these things usually only hatch an egg. So for all the people that spent money on eBay for a better Tinkatink, well, I hope it was worth it.
Is that still a thing people do?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
I know casuals that do it too, like for like a shiny
At
Pokemon
first,
or
I thought you were going to say I know Kaz instead of casuals. I was like, what?
Whoa.
You know
Man
me.
Throwing
Casual
Always
Kaz.
on the eBays.
Yeah, that's her alt account. HurricaneKaz and Casual Kaz.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And eBay Kaz.
I heard there's
Yes.
a Casual Kate and a Hurricane Kate too.
There is, yeah. That's actually such a crazy coincidence to me still.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, definitely played the events. I still have my doubts. I mean, I think it could work in this meta. I just think it's like there's better options. You also don't really beat Fortress. So like it's just
What do you mean don't really beat? I'm sure you straight up lose.
Well, I'm trying to think like what if it's like bug bite Fortress, right? Because it gets a little bit weirder. Because you're like double resisted bug bite damage.
Yeah,
Might
it gets
be
a
a
little gets a little more
Like
annoying.
Bolt Switch for
but,
sure,
like,
right? Yeah. But bug bite Fortress, I don't know. Gigaton Hammer could still kind of hurt even resisted. But we haven't simmed it. We don't know what the energy values are, so we can't really sim it. But should be still a fun one. I'm gonna clear my schedule and actually play this event.
Yeah, this is when you want the XLs for too.
And the triple Stardust, I think it's a win-win, you know? Like, you need the candy, you need the XL, you need the IV spread, you need the Stardust. Fantastic. Thankfully, or hopefully, it will not be weather boosted in my area because it's usually sunny. But if it's cloudy for some reason,
or snowing.
If it's snowing, we got bigger things to worry about than just than weather boosted Tinkatink in Southern California. Yeah. Then this is like day after tomorrow situation. Okay. Play that event though. Because you should. If you
Well, I was
don't
gonna
want to,
say
that's fine.
on the eBay note, I know like a lot of people like were considering like bottle capping a Tinkaton. So hopefully most of them didn't with this. And I know the
I
other
would
big
hope so.
one
Yeah.
is a lot of people were considering bottle capping a Galarian Corsola.
Oh yeah, that's coming out too. Oh yeah. Hey, beautiful transition from my co-host Twastell. All right, yes, we have Sustainability Week, and that does feature another really relevant PvP Pokemon, particularly in this meta, Galarian Corsola, which may fall out of relevance.
Pink sunglasses.
Dude, this is why I thought this was part of Fashion Week last week. Like, this looks like Fashion Week. I don't mind it, but it just seems like it's Fashion Week. Anyway,
I mean, I agree with you, but
yeah.
Yeah.
This debuts next Tuesday, the 14th to April the 20th. Galarian Corso wearing sunglasses. Toad Scroll too is shiny, and I do need those. I literally don't even have a Toad Scroll in my inventory. So,
Literally the only one that I've ever caught was while I was waiting to get in the Pokemon Center at Worlds, and me and Ashton Ash like swapped ours. And like mine came out great. The one I gave him, not so much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Galarian Corso wearing pink sunglasses. It could be shiny as well, I believe.
Yeah. And we also have the debut of a new Pokemon, Silly Cobra and Sandaconda.
I love them so much.
Silly Cobra and Sandaconda.
I love it so much. The best names. 100%. Like,
definitely
no
upgraded
notes.
from Ekans and Arbok for sure. I mean, Ekans and Arbok were clever, but these are definitely.
I just love that it has silly in the name. Like,
that dang good. Silly Cobra.
Those dang silly cobras.
If only that was PvP relevant. There's no way, right?
No,
I would love to cast a tournament where someone's using a silly Cobra. 1222, bruh. You sure are silly. Level 51 perfect. It goes to 1237. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, and even the Sandaconda doesn't seem too great. It's like a mono ground type with like basically all ground moves is what's predicted to release with.
And it's got it has Mud Slap and Mud Shot potentially. So you got some. Oh, you could learn Wrap. It's not all ground. Ground normal. That's seems like an absolute disaster for a Corviknight meta, but what's the worst that could happen? Okay. Anyway, there's plenty of great Pokemon though for PvP for this one. Toadscrew in particular. I mean, they learn Mud Slap, but you never know, right? And maybe in limited metas or Ultra League could be good. You definitely need XLs for that one.
I think Toadscrew has Mud Shot too. It's probably worse still.
It does?
Yeah, it has Mud Shot. Yeah. The thing though is like
I knew it had Slap.
Its charge moves aren't like that good, so it might still prefer Mud Slap, honestly, even nerfed.
Who knows? In a future GBO meta season update, maybe they give it Frenzy Plan, Hopeful, but unlikely. It would just be a better Torterra at that point. But it already is, actually. But
I would literally like make any bet that they would never, ever give it Frenzy Plan.
Any bets, lifetime bets. I'll sign myself up for that one.
Caleb's gonna be phoning up Kaz when they're both like 90 years old.
I guess you were right. Someone shave my head as I'm bald.
Yeah,
already.
when we're both in the home together, then you can shave my head.
Guys, I remember this Pokemon trade 50 years ago.
Do you remember when you said it would never get Frenzy Plan? I do.
Those Niantic people were right. This really is a forever game.
Episode 2000 of the Battle Cats podcast. Kaz saves her head.
We're just recording it from the same nursing home. I was over there in your corner of the hallway, Kaz.
Literally one time I was watching, I can't even remember which game it was a trailer for. I think it was like Scarlet and Violet or maybe like ZA, something like that. But I was watching the trailer like on YouTube and I was sitting on the couch like cheering and my husband walks behind me and he's like, "You're going to be playing these games till you're 80, aren't you?" I was like, "Hell yeah."
85 actually.
Even longer if I can help it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it could be good for like dementia.
Probably.
Use your brain on that.
That's what I'm going to say from now on.
Hey, there's that Pokemon region of the brain.
Yeah, exactly. It's right next door to all my birds.
Yeah. If you really get dementia, you'll still at least remember Kanto.
It's true.
She's never forgetting Pidgeot.
It's true. I won't remember why, but...
No, I think it's pretty far back there, actually. It might take you a while for you to forget that one. Okay, yeah. Anyway. So, unfortunately, these only spawn in routes, but I do need my cells, so might as well. 14 to 16, Togetic and Galarian Corsola, with the sunglasses, obviously. 16 to 18, Galarian Corsola and Trubbish. 18 to 20th, Lapras and Corsola. These are, like, Pokemon that spawn more frequently now in routes, is what I was saying.
Oh, I was gonna say the spawns aren't only in routes. It's just there's an increase in.
So the Corsola, I believe, is only in routes and eggs.
I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't.
They don't specify that it
tell
won't
us.
be wild encounters, but they don't say that it is a wild encounter in the thing.
Yeah.
Toadstool, though, Silicobra, Wiglet, those are in like the wild though. So
it does also specify with the new Pokemon Silicobra, it says that will make its debut in desert-like areas. So I'm actually not even sure if it's going to be appearing for everyone with similar sort of distribution.
It's slightly unclear, but it does say wild encounters. You may encounter event themed Pokemon in the wild, and that has the Silicobra, the Wiglet, the Toadstool, and then it says additionally, Toadstool, Wiglet, and Silicobra will appear more frequently in their natural biomes. So it seems like those 3 Pokemon will be spawning for everyone, theoretically, hopefully, but if you're in their natural biome, you'll see them more often, is my interpretation of this. Hopefully, because it would be kind of frustrating if they were biome locked completely.
So
it just seems like it'll be way less likely. The Wiglet will be nice though, because I've only ever gotten one, and that was at like a random lake in Tennessee.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think they will be spawning elsewhere, but obviously much more so if you're in this specific biome. And then in eggs, Galarian Corsola with pink sunglasses do hatch from 7-kilometer eggs, so something to look forward to. But honestly, I would probably just do the routes. I mean, you can hatch the eggs if you like to, but like the routes have a better chance of actually having PPIVs, right? Whereas the egg is just standard. So
yeah.
Plus, if you're like me, you're still stuck on that stage of research that's asking you to do a route 7 days in a row. Which
you definitely need to do it this weekend. Yeah.
I might try to do that 7 days in a row for this event.
Oh, you both are stuck on that one? Oh, wow.
I never do routes, man.
I think I've done like 3 routes in the history of the game.
I could probably count it on one hand.
Like, if it was just do route 7 days, I would probably have done it by now. But doing it 7 days in a row is just not something that like fits in my schedule super well. So I just haven't even tried.
Yeah. Let's actually see how many Zygarde cells that I have, because I can tell you it's nowhere near enough.
I think I'm. Well, I was gonna say I think you have more than me, but actually I don't know. You might not.
I have 15 Zygarde cells total.
I'm at 26. How many do you need to evolve Zygarde again?
100?
No,
right?
It's like 200 something, I think.
I think it's like 250 maybe.
250?
Yeah.
Because it's 50 to go to the middle form, and then I feel like it might be... Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's 200, like 50 and 150. I don't know. I'm at 52 cells, apparently.
Oh my god.
I think
Justin's
most
doing
of those...
more routes than any of us.
No. I think those came from one of the Go Passes or something.
Oh, yeah, that's true. During the Kalos tour, they
because I got like the premium pass for that one, and so I think probably 50 cells of those came from the pass, and I think I've only gotten like 2 cells myself or something.
If I were smart, I would have done that, but I couldn't even really play Kalos tour all that much, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to invest and not know if I'd be able to actually get any of the rewards.
Well, you could still be smart, but anyway, this is the.
Thanks, Caleb.
Oh, and then there's also a tier 2
that reaction was pretty delayed.
there's a tier 2 Go Pass bonus of half hatch egg distance, which is nice if you're trying to do the 7Ks.
If you're trying to hatch eggs, that's pretty nice.
I mean, I will say you do get candies and maybe XL candies from hatches too, so maybe it is worthwhile. I envy the Florida people because I was in Orlando. I was like, freaking, there's just random Corsa spawning here. That's great candies.
Yeah.
But
if my reactions are ever delayed on this podcast, it's because my cat is not on my lap and I have to make sure he's not destroying something.
Okay, you can say all you want, but for that last one, you literally were spacing out.
No, I was looking at him jumping on the stool to look out the window like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's skip. Oh, what were you gonna say? You're gonna say something.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's basically the event. This is like the first time we've really had wild Galarian Corsola spawns.
First time ever. But very nice though for PvP purposes. Wild Tinkaton and Wild Galarian Corsola both were hatch only before this week, so it's PvP is eating good, especially if you need a better Toadscroll, myself included.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's skip over the Go Battle Leagues. Not too much going on besides a few new people hitting Legend, not me included. But we had a pretty packed weekend. 3 separate tournaments. Let's start with the India qualifier because it was a pretty big one. It's qualified. This is qualified number 1 though, right?
Yes.
I think. Is there another? I thought there was only one qualifier this year. Am I wrong?
Oh, wait, no. They have. Oh yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, so India qualifier and then the playoffs are later, I think.
Yeah, see, that's what always gets me is like there's a qualifier and then the playoffs. Like the nomenclature is just different than we use over here,
Yeah.
so it always
Right.
confuses me.
Last
a
year there
little bit.
was 2, I remember, because like one was
Yeah.
like slightly slightly more stacked than the other one. But I'm kind of glad they just condensed into one, assuming everyone can make it. Let's see who's made out here that people will recognize. Nava Empire for sure.
Yep.
Nava Empire. I mean, they didn't show the record. But Nava Empire number 1 on the Dracovic graphic has Anacor's fingerprints all over it.
Exactly.
I think he actually did have the best record, though. I think these might be sorted in order.
Yeah, sounds like Anacor took over Tristan's body too. I'm just kidding. It's
Master
Ryuga.
Mahir is
I've
another one
seen.
that I recognize.
Yeah, Master Mahir for sure. What top 8 at Worlds last year? It's
Mhm.
Ryuga. I've seen quite a bit, mostly on Twitter, I think. But Dark Phoenix, maybe, or that might be a different one. A lot of these names I don't actually really recognize, which is interesting. So some new blood. I'm down for that though. I'm trying to see if there's any like really weird stuff. Corviknight, super high usage, Wigglytuff, almost 60%.
Florges is somehow back up there.
Back up there at 12.5. It's not really back up there. We have different definitions of back up there, but it is better than Togekiss, which I'm surprised by because I think
you have Gourgeist at number 6 in usage.
That is a little surprising for sure. I think it's out of place, but
it kind of makes sense though, because if you look at the top 5 is Corviknight, Wigglytuff, Medicham, Fortress, Quagsire.
Yeah,
I think Wiggly mostly beats it, but like that's the only.
You shield one since it's like kind of over, yeah, because you can't like bait with Swift.
Yeah, but like besides Wiggly, like Gourgeist is like pretty good into the other 4 for sure.
Yeah, Massive Mahir with the Eater Slash. Ooh, I like it.
Is he the only one?
I don't know, but I see a Lopunny on here, which is even crazier. Like what? That's not a Mega Lopunny. That's just a regular Lopunny.
There's a Breloom on here.
I think Master Mahir did bring the only Asia Slash.
Wait, the Breloom has a Toxicroak too. What the heck?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my god. Amazing.
Double fighter strats.
And neither of the top 2 fighters in the meta, which is even more wild. Like, interesting. That team is very, very weak to mention as well.
There's a couple Piloswine, so people watching Europeans.
See, that like makes a little bit of sense to me, but
there's a Morgrim.
There's a Morgrim's pretty wild too. Honestly, Morgrim would be more wild if there wasn't a Breloom, Toxicroak, and Lopunny already. But
yeah, so Master Mahir brought the only Aegislash, but it looks like there are a couple Doublades on here. So people opting for the
some people thought that well, we'll talk more about Orlando later. Some people thought there wouldn't be Aegislash at all in day 2, but there sure were. Yeah. Well, anyway, look forward to that. The playoffs, I believe, is April 19th, so like 2 weeks from now. But
yeah, that's correct.
So we'll kind of see how that goes.
And this is what top 32, and I think did we say India has 16 invites this year?
16.
I forgot what the number was. We talked about it last week though.
Let me double check.
It was a lot though. It's 16.
I knew it was more than
4 to 16. 4 to 16.
16. Yeah,
okay.
so
quite a bit. Half of the group?
Yeah, it seems like half of these people will qualify.
That Breloom might got a shot. That's all I'm saying.
I wish them all the success, honestly.
I mean, I think these people can change their teams if they want. That's how it's been done previously.
Yeah. Why would you change it from that? Come on now. Think about the flex.
I mean, the Breloom obviously got you this far.
Yeah, but looking at the meta, I don't know what it really means.
Also, I love this person's in-game name is Meta Manipulator, and they have a super fun team.
Yeah. Good for them.
Dunsparce, Venusaur, Blastoise, Goodra, Gorgeist, Shadow, Weezing. Honestly, the Gorgeist guy's a little too meta. But if they didn't use the Gorgeist, they'd be out. Like all the Pokemon would be outside the top 12.
Yeah. So maybe drop the Gorgeist.
Wait, hey.
Bring in Trevenant.
Yeah, you guys speak to some of the Dracovish people, Tristan.
Why?
Look at the graphic. It says top 32 usage, and it has 12 Pokemon. What is that about?
No, like usage of the top 32
Of the top
players.
32.
Oh, that's poorly worded, in my opinion.
Is it?
It's.
I feel like
you literally
like all their
no, because literally
like
when you
all their
explained it to
graphics
me,
are
you
similar.
literally said it differently. You literally said usage of top 32.
Well,
you
like,
would have
if
just
you
said
look
it's
at-
top 32 usage if it was.
If you
top
look
30
at the next graphic or literally any of their other graphics, like for Querétaro, let's look at it says
Okay.
top 16 usage, but it's got the top 12. But it's talking about the top 16 players. That's how their graphics always are.
Yeah, I guess so.
Come on. Don't try and
But,
backpass
like,
me.
No, I know, but like according to the English language, that's not proper grammar, right?
I mean, I don't know.
What like I feel like Anacor's got his paw prints all over this, and he's saying peak as if it's a bad thing, and even English people I know say it's a good thing. So like, we're like, I don't know if English is first language, but some people even when English is their first language, it's not that great. I get it. It's okay, but it doesn't
go.
actually like. It's just like a brief.
Let it go. You can just let it go.
Well, what else would you put there?
Okay, because here's
You also can let it go, Tristan.
no, because you know why it's confusing? Because when you look at official graphic from the Pokemon Company on the broadcast, what does it say? Top 12 usage. And guess what? 12 Pokemon. They're not saying top usage of the top 12 players. So to use the same like format and language and sentence structure and literally just replace the number on your own Dracovish graphic to mean a completely different thing is confusing. No,
Well, I think
my brother is in Arceus. This is an Anacor discussion.
No, I know.
This doesn't have to be. This doesn't have to turn.
I'm not asking you two to change it, right? But you all understand how confusing that could be, right? Especially like, I mean,
I have literally never paid attention to it before.
I know, but this
time,
but doesn't mean that I'm incorrect. Do I not bring a valid point?
Either.
No, Caleb.
Do I not bring a valid point? Okay, I'm pulling up the Dracovish right now because they be retweeting like the top 12 usage Pokemon, right? Okay, yeah, okay. To be fair, it's a little different. On the official broadcast, it says top 12 Pokemon.
This doesn't say Pokemon.
Top 16 usage is still confusing though. But yeah.
Well, I think it's because they used to say top cut usage, but would include like if it was like the fake top 12 or something, or they might even show 16 teams and top cut was only 8 or something. So like that's why
on the graphic.
Yeah.
But I feel like these days, if it says top 16, it shows everything. Like, is there ever a graphic where top cut is like 8 people? But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what, because it used to say top cut usage and they changed it because that wasn't like accurate.
I see the dilemma. Why don't they just say? Yeah, it's. I don't know. Honestly, usage of top 16 is totally fine. You literally add of a 2-letter word.
That's like wordier though. It just doesn't sound
one extra word to clarify everything. You can't misread usage of top 16. You could easily misread top 16 or top 32 usage.
I no longer have a horse in this race.
I do, and my horse won the race. Okay, anyway. Nomenclature things. Querétaro was their first, I believe this is their first ever officially broadcasted tournament. So that's pretty awesome. I think it was on the Carmen Bean channel, which was the one that I co-streamed from. But it's like, they sent people over. Like, I know like Daniel from TBCI, who's the producer I report to, like was in Mexico as well. So, and like they sent like full on staff and everything. So it's really, really cool to see. And that's really, really cool because that means all of these tournaments in the future will be broadcasted, right?
Yeah. No, I'm very excited.
Theoretically, actually, I don't know. I don't know for sure. I don't want to make.
Well,
assumptions,
yeah,
but
we don't know for sure, but it's a good sign, I
Yeah, yeah.
think, because
I mean,
we've had so
presumably it
little
was.
access to Mexican intel in the past, so it'll be really cool if they can keep it up.
I mean, presumably it was at least like a test run to see like how it went and like maybe how like feasible it is like in the future to do more. So like hopefully it went well. I didn't really catch much of the broadcast. But the one thing I did notice from the tiny bit I saw is like it definitely, and again, makes sense if it's sort of like a test run. It's just my guess, but like it didn't have like the same level of production value. Obviously, like you couldn't see the teams of 6 for each player, for example,
Right.
which made it like a little harder to follow because it's like you only saw the 3 Pokemon on the stream. But again, like stepping stones, the fact that we even have a LATAM broadcast with like commentators, right? Because like the last time Karma Beam streamed it, it was just like silent. So this time, like we had Spanish commentators casting over it. So like definitely exciting to like see these steps that we've had, because like even like the one that Caleb co-streamed, like at least having a video feed and now having like an actual stream, like it steps in the right direction, because like I know we all want to see more of these players in LATAM compete.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll definitely do a specified deep dive series. I'm a little behind on that one. I still need to do Seattle and Houston, but
Seattle.
I know,
my
but
gosh.
I'm telling you, I'm behind. So, yeah, it's a whole different meta. I don't even know if people are going to watch it, but I did say I was going to cover all the broadcasted ones, at least like officially broadcasted ones. But this one will be useful too because it's current meta. Okay, top 16 usage. 62.5% on the Wuta, 56.3% for Alligators. For Alligators, really shooting up there. Quagsire dropped a lot in LATAM, 37.5 on day 2, 50% for Fortress, 50% Shadow too. Gabo Herka won it all. I think this guy's on my friends list, so I definitely battled against him in canonical tournaments and stuff, and GPL plenty. So first title for him, which is super exciting, and ran a pretty meta team. Wigglytuff, Shadow Fortress, Shadow Quagsire, Corvi Knights, Medicham, Corsola, Galarian Corsola. Honestly, Diggersby looks pretty good to this team. But it's funny because I feel like a lot of players, at least, especially the Brazilian players, but I mean, this is like top 16 is like all Mexican players, so maybe a little bit different. But a ton of Brazilian players in Orlando brought Diggersby, but there's pretty much no Diggersby in this meta. So it's so interesting how the meta is like so different between the same weekend too.
Yeah.
Um,
The most interesting thing I see, like in kind of the top 4 teams, is that Grumpig. Is Grumpig on my screen?
well, Grumpig was also in the grand finals in Orlando.
It's true.
So, low
I'd
usage,
say
low usage, but very high performance, huh?
Yeah.
I'd say even crazier is the 3rd place team with Galarian Moltres and Shadow Drapion. No one's running Drapion these days.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's a little bit.
I think
It's good
Drapion
to
makes
Grumpig.
more yeah, beats the Grumpig.
Yeah.
I think Drapion makes a little more sense because it's always just like so solidly neutral. I mean, I think it still is, but there's just like
Slight
there's a
power
lot
creep,
yeah.
Well, not even that. The problem it has, I think, is like the combo of like Quagsire, Fortress, and Empoleon all being fairly popular is like really not friendly to the Drapion.
Yeah.
It just makes it super awkward because those are all kind of like not great matchups for it.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna say, I think because you guys like played and watched more of like Orlando, was the trend generally speaking that like most Shadow Fortresses were on Bug Bite and most non-Shadows were Volt Switch? Was that sort of how things went?
That's what
Kind of, yeah.
That's kind of what I saw.
I don't think I saw a Bug by Fortress that was non-Shadow, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do think you're right, though.
But the Shadows, I do think, were a little bit of a mix, but I would say that they lean towards Bug Bite.
Okay.
Yeah. Bug by Fortress was pretty legit, though. Anyway, big congrats to Gabo, Herca, Paul Garcia, second place with the Grumpig. Sunfist too, which makes kind of a resurgence. Mark Evans with the third place, and then Lalo LG with the fourth place. Lalo, I definitely see before. A lot of these names are pretty familiar as well too. How many total players were at this tournament?
This was bigger than Orlando, I know.
Oh wow! Holy, yeah, 249. What the heck? That's pretty wild.
Mexico doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
It just makes me wonder, like, how big both Querétaro and Orlando could have been if they weren't on the same weekend.
Well, I mean, they're not like, it's not like the same people go to both, right?
I think there actually could have been a lot of crossover.
There's some, but like, I don't think the crossover is like more than 20 something at best. You think there would have been more than 20 people that would have gone to both that otherwise wouldn't have?
I think so.
Probably. I feel like there's a decent, like, there's been more, like,
Tuzzy,
American
7-Eleven, Ash and Ash, maybe Rice Occasion and Doombug. That's about
I was
it,
gonna say
right?
there's been a decent amount of Americans that have gone to the Mexican tournaments this year.
Rise, Pocket. Well, I think out of the ones that have gone to multiple, I think it was just Rise, right? Maybe Dune. I don't think anyone else has gone to more than one.
I honestly don't even think it's as much about NA as it is like the different LATAM regions. Like, I think that we would have had some more crossover with like more Mexican players being able to attend Orlando.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Orlando's one of the farthest south, like, NA regionals, so it's closer for a lot of the Mexican players, probably.
I'm trying to see like any 7-Eleven people, because like Marto wasn't even at Mexico. Iomero was.
Rocha,
yeah.
It's on
Richie. Well,
Ash isn't actually.
7-Eleven.
But yeah, like I did see.
Oh, you said 7-Eleven. Sorry.
Yeah, not
Ash
on.
Gone to both though. Yeah.
Yeah, like not like Rocha's the only 7-Eleven I think that made the graphic, but like there were like I think most all the 7-Eleven players outside of Marto competed in Querétaro. And like,
Richie went. Am I spelling his name wrong? Oh no, he did go. He did go.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry, I spelled it with a T.
He was so excited about Querétaro. I would be so surprised if he didn't end up going.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, yeah, maybe there would have been some, but big congrats to them. And then Orlando. Well, you talked a little about your experiences. I, of course, did commentate the tournament, but we can talk about it. Well, you want to talk about your experiences first, Kaz? I guess you shared a good chunk already.
Yeah, I mean, I primarily talked about like my direct experiences. As for how it ended,
Kaz only ran one bird.
Yeah, that was highly disappointing.
Truly, if that were the biggest scandal to come out of this weekend, we would all be much happier. You dodged a bullet.
Now. Everyone's talking about something else instead of using one bird. But the Umbreon was kind of neat, though. I will say.
I do like it, and it did play a big role in some of my later matches. Like it
actually looked really good in Sushi's team, and you just never brought into her for some reason, which confused the heck out of her and myself.
Yeah, I think that honestly that was like my 5-head play that I didn't even realize. Because she told me that later too. She was like, "Your Umbreon was really throwing me off." I was like, "That's funny," because I didn't really think it was all that.
No, useful. You two had great battles too. Like it was like some high level stuff, like catches, like.
Yeah, she caught on me a lot. Like she was really, really.
But I
good.
like your strategy. You're just like, I don't care if you catch on me. I can counter you in the back anyways. Like catch the resistant moves.
Fine.
Yeah.
Catch, smash,
take
whatever.
this chip damage. I'm gonna farm you down. Yeah.
No, it was really good. Like my battles with Sushi are always like whenever we get paired up in like locals or grassroots tournaments or whatever. Like they're always a good time.
Yeah, 174 in total. And we had 3 Aegislash in the top 17 that just missed out on day 2. We had Abhinav, Arrow, and Habibi EX. But then we had 2 Aegislash make it into the top 16, and both of them got in the... Well, Alan got 9th, and then Toad
They
got
played
7th.
each other.
They played each other, yeah. So one got in top 8, which is the highest Aegislash placement outside of Cape Town, which only had 8 people, so that's obviously guaranteed top 8. But no hate on Cape Town. I'm just saying, like, it's like a way smaller sample size to use as a metric.
Yeah.
But dude, Orlando was the story of LATAM all over the place. I think when it came down to the top 6, I was like, there's 2 NA players left and 4 LATAM, and 3 are all from Tuzzy and from Brazil. So, and then Sammy from Peru. So, it was some LATAM dominance, but of course, NA held it down going to the grand finals, and then we had NAIC Clash versus Firestar in that one.
Stone Collection said NA was free, and Firestar took that personally.
Dude, besides 9-time Clasher, every opponent Firestar faced in day number 2 was LATAM. And actually, more importantly, Brazilian.
Brazil.
Jeff, loses Steinar, then Areo, then Jeff again, then Steiner again, then 9-time Clasher. But on day number 1, also went against Corlash. So he faced 4
Brazilians with
four NA players.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4 Brazilians as well, but he played 2 of the Brazilians twice.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he played 1 of the NA players twice, which is not time Clasher because best 5. So he played more series against Brazilian players actually than NA, which is kind of. I mean, I don't even know where Maroon Vi is from and Go TV GC, but I think they're from NA. Substance is definitely from NA. Nighttime Clasher's brother. Wait, that's actually kind of funny. He faced the younger brother and he faced the older brother. Anyway, yeah. So I'm sure people are curious, like what happened or thoughts, whatever. If you don't know what happened, I'll kind of give you all the general rundown. And even as someone that commentated tournament, trust me, I don't know as much as you all think. You might think I know, but here's generally what happened. Nighttime Clasher versus Firestar. Firestar wins 3-1 in the first bracket, resets the brackets. Bracket number 2, I mean, honestly, bracket number 1 was super close too. Nighttime almost forced a game 5. He made a crazy catch on that 4th game to like avoid that. And then, but it was a pretty interesting back and forth matchup. They're 2-2 going into a 5th and final game. I was commentating it, so I saw it outside of spectators. I saw it as close up as possible.
Well, and the one thing I just want to add real quick that I thought was fun was like Firestar was running Togekiss and Nighttime Clasher was running Grumpig, which were both like kind of signature picks, and like they both showed up quite a bit in the grand finals too.
Yeah. Nighttime was running the Mud Bomb Quagsire, which definitely better into Firestar's Empoleon, which he did have. Worse than his Togekiss, but it kind of went both ways. You probably also always bait there anyway, right? Like how many times can you full send the Stone Edge if the shield's up? Anyway, so they face off. Firestar does beat Nighttime Clasher in the 5th game, and then I guess from my POV, there's not like I'm not sure any sensitive information here. So obviously I thought Firestar won as well. And then usually what happens is commentators, they talk a little bit, talk about the grand finals, and then they do the award show and they get the medals, and then we close down the lounge. Bada bing, bada boom. This time we even had an NAIC meta tease. We'll talk about later. Of course, I didn't know what was going on, so me and Soph were just yapping, right? We talked for a while. I was like, I just remember at a certain point, I'm asking her about Sidewave users, and she's looking at me like, oh, this guy's definitely trying to stall for time, right? Because we're running out of stuff to talk about, which is understandable. And then we tossed to the closing lounge instead. So I was obviously confused. I didn't know anything about it. And then we end the broadcast. I'm like, do I run out there and do the awards? Like, when are we doing this? We didn't end up doing it. And then if you look at the launch brackets, it actually showed that Nighttime Clasher won 3-2. And I don't know what exactly occurred, right? But word is, it's Firestar was given a game loss for, I think, like unsportsmanlike conduct is like the official wording. I don't know. There's actually no official wording. So again, this is just more so hearsay, and I'm not going to pretend like this didn't happen, right? Like we're not. This is not like I'm like deaf and blind for the past like 5 days straight. So obviously, a lot of people talk about this on social media, but Nighttime Clasher was given the win, and it was mostly surrounding, I believe, and this is what like Firestar said as well too. So again, take what I say with a grain of salt as well, because I'm not like involved in any of this decision making at all. That he threw down the headset a little bit too aggressively. Also, it did occur in the TCG side of things a few hours earlier. I watched that clip. Obviously, I wasn't watching that because I was working the event. But it was like Swiss round like 13 or something. So it wasn't even their single elimination top cut yet. So two players were 1-1. There's one guy puts on the headphones fairly aggressively. Maybe you could make the argument that's similar to as hard as Firestar put it down. But the game wasn't over yet. Like it's like he drew like a final card, I guess my understanding, that will win him the game. But he still has to play it. He still has to execute the win con. And
Yeah.
I use this as an analogy. The best analogy I have for Pokemon Go, I feel like, is it's like if we're on our final Pokemon, I have 2 shields, they have maybe 2 shields, maybe have 0 shields, I don't know. And it's a full health Bastion to Altaria. Yeah, the game is over, right? There's no catch, there's no nothing. You can't do anything about it. But I still got to finish tapping, right? Like I can't like put the headset down and start celebrating. So that's essentially what the TCG guy did. And the board scattered a little bit too. But even as the board didn't scatter, like you got to finish playing out the game.
Right. But with TCG2, the thing is like if you're messing up the board state, like
Yeah.
that also has implications in terms of potential penalties. Like I don't know the nitty-gritty, but like messing up the game state is also presumably a factor in that TCG ruling. I don't know for sure, but that's just sort of what I've heard from general sentiment.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, you have to finish out the game, right? Like if you didn't finish out the win con, it's like different. But like I'm no TCG professional or whatever. Like honestly, like if I was in that position, right, at draw card, I wouldn't know what to do, right? I could still throw the game from there, right? But obviously, like these players are good enough to know like not to. But like you still kind of play it out. Anyway, I'm not saying I necessarily agree or disagree with that decision, but I think contextually that decision is much different than the situation Firestar.
Right, like there's parallels, but they're not the same.
Yeah, it's similar, like only on a very, very surface level. Like once you actually look at how the 2 games are played, it becomes very, very different.
Yeah. Funny enough, from the TCG side of things, those 2 players rematched in the top 4, and they were both on stream again. There's cameras on them. They're not even looking at each other when they're shuffling a card because they're both just like, like he's annoyed about the game loss. Like she's like annoyed that he's probably annoyed and like blaming her maybe. But like, I mean, like it's not her fault. He ended it. Anyway. So that guy ends up beating her in the rematch and then goes to the grand final still and gets second. So again, consequentially in the tournament result, it didn't really change much, I would say. Maybe outside like some, I don't know. He still made the grand finals, right? But this is obviously on the 5th and final game. And so if 5-star gets a game loss, right, at that state, then he loses because it was 2-2, right? If it was like 2-1 in his favor, then they would probably played another game, right? Which would also been like very, very strange. But I guess that's theoretically, I guess how it would go. I don't know. Again, I didn't make the decision. I don't know who made the decision. Like, don't witch hunt people. Don't do whatever, right? Like, don't send out death threats. Like, I've seen some people do that, and that's just like, in my mind, just not appropriate at all.
There's no reason. Like, we have literally 0 information because and I think this is the most frustrating thing for a lot of people, no matter how involved or not involved they are, is the actual lack of information from official channels, because we didn't even get an official like result announcement like we do for literally every other tournament, every other game, like every other type of game. Like
so the thing on that I will say is Z's Wireless just posted like a couple hours ago that championship points have been added for the Querétaro results, but apparently championship points have not been added for the Orlando results yet. So it makes me wonder if like things are like still inconclusive and like being like, I don't know.
And that very well could be. But again, it's about like lack of communication. We just have like no one has any clarity. And if that's the case, like people are going to start like, doing the things that people do, which is, needlessly headhunting when none of us are in any position to know anything. Nobody knows. There's a lot of people.
I don't even think Firestar knows,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that might know things that can't say things from
There's
like
no way Firestar doesn't know when some
like,
random person on the internet knows.
Yeah. So like it's just like just everybody here. As much as we might disagree with the way that things have played out, with the way that things currently look like they stand, which I very strongly do, there's no reason to like attack anyone or like headhunt results when I'm just a person. I'm
Yeah.
just a person who saw, like, I met Firestar very briefly, um late in day 2 after, or late in day 1 after he like had a really great run already, and he seemed like, I mean, he seems like a really great guy, you know. We did some trades, he gave me a great Mimikyu, so I'm super happy with that, and I was actually super happy to see him do well, because I know
Yeah.
that, like I mentioned with my friend Jigglypuff earlier, I know that Firestar also like has been trying very hard to sort of gain this kind of recognition, so
Yeah.
it's very frustrating for me personally, because I do think that he deserves that title, that he's worked very hard for it. But I don't, like, we don't know what we don't know. So we just
Mhm.
have to, like, I have to assume that there's some sort of review or investigation taking place, and I'm not involved with that. I am happy to let that like run its course, and we will know more when there is more to know. Am I also equally frustrated that like official channels again have been like very silent on this, like even if it's just to say like, hey, we're investigating the sequence of events, like we will keep
Uh,
you, we
yeah.
will update results when we have them. Like, it can be that simple, because I think that that would cut a lot of this sort of vitriol off at the head.
I think it.
um
I mean, I can see why they might hold off on it, right, until they have the final word. Because let's say we're saying like we're investigating it, like and then people start getting their hopes up. They're like, oh, maybe it is going to go in favor, and then they're like, oh, actually
I
no, the
know.
ruling can stand. Then people get even more upset, right? So like,
I know. Like,
I
there's no
get
right there's no right
there's always going to be
answer
people upset
here.
no matter what, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Whether
I will say too, like I've seen a lot of people have been submitting support tickets,
Mhm.
which I think is really good if you know are frustrated with the outcome. Um, but I will say too, like if people are wanting to see, maybe more transparency and more communication, like submit support tickets saying that too.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
again, make your voice heard. Um,
I really don't think a lot of people realize like the the power they have to make themselves heard in a variety of issues with support tickets, you know?
But
Um
again, if you're doing support tickets, make sure that you're being respectful, you're being clear,
yes.
and like make sure you're making a point and not just like you know copy pasting or like spamming or anything like that.
And
yeah,
it's not the place to like rant. Like, again, I know a lot of people are angry and frustrated about what appear to be the results, but like like issuing a support ticket is not your chance to like yell at someone, you know? It's literally a request for a very specific, thing that you could see improved. So
yeah,
use your voice and use it rationally.
Yeah,
yeah,
and the thing I'll say too that like applies to both this situation and like any sort of like high profile ruling. Like I know we've had situations in the past where people have, you know, questioned or disagreed with different rulings. Is like the thing is like outside of the people who were directly involved in the ruling, none of us have all the information.
Mhm.
Like I'm not saying like so we don't know what else might have happened. Like all we know is what we have heard and what we've seen like on the broadcast. We don't know if there is or isn't any other information, any other circumstances, right? So like that's what makes it hard is like we don't know for sure.
Mhm.
And like again, based on like what I've seen from public discourse and the stream and some other people took videos from the crowd and stuff, like I don't understand why Firestar wasn't the champion, at
Yeah.
least, or isn't currently listed as the champion on Challenge. But again, I don't know what I don't know, and there
Yeah.
could be other factors. It's hard to say. Um, and then beyond that, the other thing is like, look, you can disagree with the ruling, but like, don't start attacking the judges
Yeah.
because first of all, we don't know who did or didn't make the ruling. But even if you knew, like, let's just say we knew 100% for sure Caleb made the ruling, he was the only one involved, and we think it's a bad ruling. Like, first of all, we don't
You
know
be
all.
saying too much, man. People clip that, and then they're going to make it seem like it's a real thing.
But like again, we don't know all the info, and like even if we did, like we're all humans. Like you can make mistakes. Like again, you can disagree with the ruling, but let's not be attacking people
Yeah.
and witch hunting and harassing and all that sort of negative toxic behavior that we don't want to see.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I think the more important thing is like, why do people do this kind of stuff, right? Like, if you're really looking out for Firestar, I don't think Firestar wants people doing that, right? Like, he's
Yeah.
made that clear himself. Like, if you're
Mhm.
like, so if you're really saying, hey, I want to, honestly, I don't think any of our listeners are the kind to do that anyway. So, like, I'm probably just preaching to the choir. But like, it's just if you're really looking out for this guy and you want the results changed, sending like death threats and hate speech and all this random stuff at random people you think might be responsible is not doing any justice.
No.
Like, how is that helping him at all? There's no way that is. You can't convince yourself, right? Which
Yeah.
like, what would that do, right? And
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure death threats are illegal in most countries. so obviously maybe some people are sending from burner accounts, which is cowardly in itself. But like, if it's from your main account, like what? Like, why put yourself
Yeah.
in legal ramifications over this? Like, what?
Yeah.
Over something you
There's
don't
a
even know. Like, we don't know who
there's
made the
a
decision.
there's a
I don't
difference
know. Five Star doesn't
between
know.
yeah.
Ain't no
There's
way
a
you
difference
know,
between
right?
no. There's a difference between like requesting
Yeah.
transparency, like requesting information, and demanding like someone be punished, like as if there's any sort of retribution in this situation that like makes any sense. Like I it just it doesn't help anybody. And
well,
I think that that goes for like a lot of a lot of things in this life. It's just
yes.
um you just I try and in my like day to day and like my personal outlook is like I try and look at it from like how is this affecting like me, and do I need to do anything about it? And most of the time the answer is just quite honestly like no, this doesn't, like this thing that bothered me like doesn't actually affect me. So I don't need to involve myself overly.
Yeah.
And I think if a lot of people could just step back and take like just take a deep breath, like maybe it would help us all have kind of a better experience when these kind of frustrations happen.
Well, and the thing too that I saw someone else point out is like these sort of like attacks and harassment on judges like can result in like a self-perpetuating cycle because like
Hmm.
you treat these judges like crap, like they might decide to stop judging. And then
Yeah.
if that's the case, then you have less experienced judges who are put in positions who might make bad rule, like again, people might make mistakes, right? So you
Yeah.
have someone less experienced who might make a mistake, and then if you attack them and then they quit and then you have someone even less experienced coming in, right? Like that's
Hmm.
not how we grow and help improve the program and
Yeah.
help, like
I mean, we
and
would not be able to have tournaments of any size if we didn't have, you know, capable, like conscientious judges who are, willing to put themselves out there in these kind of situations. And their whole job is to help facilitate things. Like they're not doing this to take out their frustrations on anybody or have any kind of vendetta. Like they're literally doing this to like for us.
Like, look, regardless of who made the decision as well, right? I said this earlier, like, you don't know who made it, so like, why are you saying this
Yeah.
stuff? Even if you knew who made it, don't be doing this. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
it's not like it's funny. There's so many like social media news outlets, content creators making content on this. It's the
Hmm.
funniest thing because Soph sent me a message and she was just like, what did she say specifically? Oh, hopefully she doesn't mind that I'm sharing this,
Calling
but
you out.
no, not even that. She wrote, "This is the most anyone will hear our casting," which is so true because there's so many people outside of Pokemon Go that have never even seen a Pokemon Go tournament. Moist Critical, 19 million subscribers on YouTube, made a YouTube video on this. He's talking about like, oh, what if like some people that made decision, maybe they're like maybe they had money on the match or something. I was like, I mean, I can't
God.
say that's impossible, but it's so unlikely. Freaking
So
100 plus, almost 200 people tournament. Who's going to put money on a match of anyone winning? Like, even I wouldn't make a bet like that, right? Only person that's stupid enough to make that kind of bet is Anacor. And trust me, he ain't making no decisions on Orlando, right? Like,
But
so
yeah,
that's where
it's
that
crazy how much this has blown up. Like Axon's tweet with the videos
yeah.
at 4.6 million
Yeah,
views.
I kid you not. Well, his luckily like muted the video clip, so like people don't hear my voice. But there's certain like news outlets or social media news outlets where they've like post like the clip with my voice in it and like me and Soph's voice. And I legit have friends from like 5 to 10 plus years ago I haven't talked to be like, "Hey, I heard your voice in this. What's going on?" I'm like, I was like, dude, well, nice
oh
to
my
hear from
God.
you. I don't really, I was like, I don't
Well,
know
first of
more
all,
than you
how
what
are
you know,
you?
but yeah, it is
Second,
my voice. Yeah. um, like Soph said, this is the most anyone we are casting. She's
that
so funny.
no,
Yeah,
that's
it's crazy how much it's blown up. Like all the news outlets that have picked it up, like
Yeah.
yeah.
how it's spread like outside of the Pokemon
Yeah.
community into like general gaming people are
The
weighing in on
misinformation
it.
is kind of like rough. But
Yeah, the
that's kind of
misinformation.
how a lot of things go when it goes like it spreads like wildfire like this.
Well, there are so few things, and I mean, this is
Hungry
kind of
Box. Do you guys know Hungry Box?
oh yeah. This is actually kind of like before all like a lot of the sort of more vitriolic comments
Mm-hmm.
started, but like when the information sort of first started getting out about what we think happened or whatever, like what it looked like happened. It was kind of crazy to think about how like oh, we're almost like as a community, we're almost never like in agreement about anything about this game. But like this instance has pretty much like something everyone has been able
No,
to
I saw
sort
some
of
people actually tweet like very minimal, but I
no,
saw
no, no.
some
I know, I
people
know, I
were
know.
like,
I know there's still people that disagree or whatever, but I
yeah.
mean
For the it's
generally
99 plus
it's like
9%. Yeah, point nine
I was
plus
gonna say
percent.
it's like 95% of the community, which is something we can almost
I showed both of
never
my
say.
parents actually, and they were confused too. They're like, "What? What happened?" I was like,
What is
Well,
this
it's
about?
crazy too, like
"Question. I don't
because a
know."
lot of people have like again, we don't know like what the ruling was or anything
Yeah,
like that, right? We
Yeah,
can only
we don't.
speculate.
yeah.
But like people are comparing like Firestar celebration to like other celebrations from other Go tournaments. Like Wadaj posted a clip of his NAIC win and was like
He did put the
saying
headphones down pretty hard.
and
Yeah,
and was saying like, oh,
almost
like this is
exactly the
almost
same.
exactly the same. Or you have obviously there was no headphones involved, but like if you look at like the clip of like Arceus Aurelius popping off at NAIC or like
Human catcher bug
various
falling off the chair.
Yeah.
yeah
That's a classic.
or like there's so many clips of people that have like of winners themselves that have
Yeah.
posted like oh like I did this and that was fine, like how is this any different than Firestar?
Yeah.
Or like people have pointed out like that Firestar's celebration like looked similar to like one of the like avatar poses in Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have like I think another interesting point someone made was like someone posted there like if he broke the rules warn him, if he damaged the headset have him pay for it, but don't strip him of his title. Which
Yeah.
like again we don't know like all the details, so maybe there's more that happened there and like the ruling was warranted, but like based on what we can see like it seems like there's other ways that you could have maybe handled the situation. I
Yeah.
don't know for sure, again it's hard to
Yeah.
know, like we can only speculate
Yeah, I mean,
really.
again, just it all boils down to like we don't know what we don't know. My initial reaction, like after watching the clip several times, is I was like, legitimately, headphones is like that's a money problem. Like you can just solve that like with money if there were damage to headphones, you know? But like
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'll put it this way.
the issue like all the emotional
Yeah.
issues around this, those are like not going to go away even if like anything does some change at some point. Like
Yeah.
none of the kind of like frustrations that people have, I don't think are going to be solved no matter what happens with whatever is still
Yeah.
happening.
I mentioned Hungry Box earlier. So for those that don't know, Hungry Box is a prolific and really, really famous Super Smash Brothers player. Has
Mhm.
been for like years, like probably decades at this point. but he's known for his pop-offs. Like he'll like, I'm not saying it's okay, but he'll win a tournament, take the chair and like smash it on stage and people are cheering, right? I wouldn't recommend doing that at any Pokemon tournament. I'll just put it that way, or really any tournament.
If anyone can lift those chairs on the stage and throw them down,
hey,
I mean, that's...
hey, Kaz, come on now. Some people...
Like, I've got very weak arms,
you were
okay?
in a group with a guy named Jigglypuff, okay? I'm sure he can do it, right?
Okay, but Kaz, did you hear how much Caleb lifted on his birthday?
Dude, that's the funniest thing. Okay, so I don't know if I told any of you this story.
He's gonna tell us now.
Well, I posted it was my birthday last week, right? It's not a big deal. Oh, well, we recorded that episode. So anyway, I went to the gym. I worked out. I benched. Right? I was like, I want to see how heavy I could go. Obviously, like it wasn't like I wasn't peaked for like a prime for a really heavy lift. So I was like, you know what? It's April Fool's, right? I'm like born on the day, but I know how to throw a joke together too. So I put on 225 pounds, which is still like, it's a decent amount of weight, I guess, but it's not like nothing too crazy if you're like consistently like powerlifting. But it's a 45-pound plate, right? And then I put a 25-pound plate and 2 10 plates. The 2 10 plates and the 45 are already black. Obviously, the 10 plates are a little bit thinner, but you can people might be like, oh, maybe that's a thinner metal or something like that, denser metal, whatever. The 25-pound plate is just a green. It's green. Like it's just dead giveaway, right? Anyone that sees that will think it's 25 pounds or 10 kilos, right? Which is about 22 pounds. So when I recorded myself lifting it, I purposely edited the video to drop the color ratio of that plate so that it's darker.
Oh my God.
So it looks like it's 4 black plates on each side. And I post on like Twitter and Instagram. I was like, yeah, it was a nice day, man. I mean, I didn't have a good birthday, but I was just like, yeah, I even, repped out like 405 pounds, right? Because I tried to make it seem like each of them were 45 plates, which is a lot of freaking weights especially for my body weight and size. Like that is near impossible to do natural. And it might be hard to do even if I'm not natural. Like you should have me pee in a cup and test it, to see something at that point. Anyway. So a lot of people that don't weightlift, they probably don't know the significance because they're like, oh, what's like 200 pounds versus 300 versus 400, right? Yeah, like it's like all heavy, right? Which is understandable. But some people that lift weights are like, bro, what? Right? Only one person called me out and was like, hey, I can see that looks like they're 10-pound plates, which they actually got wrong. The 25-pound plate wasn't a 10-pound, but still, like, close enough, right? They knew.
Anyway, you're still wrong.
They knew it wasn't 405, right? Some people that do weightlift are like 405. That's insane. Funniest thing, the next day, Speedy's like, yo, like, happy birthday, but also 405, what the heck? He's like, dude, I got multiple DMs from people saying that they doubt it, but I told him, I was like, dude, you used to be an Olympic weightlifting coach and all that stuff. I was like, Speedy, my man, I appreciate you, but I was definitely joking. Like, this man's out there defending me when I was lying to everyone anyway. He's like trying to tell me, like, no, I've seen Caleb lift before. Like, I believe it, right?
Oh my God.
But he's like, I had a few people message me. I was like, dude, they were right. Like, because when
April Fools,
yeah. So I made a follow post just in case, because
I
think it wasn't clear to most people. Because if they don't lift, they were like, "Wow, that's impressive," and they do lift, they're like, "Whoa, that's super impressive." And then a few people were like, "I don't believe this at all." But when I brought the weight back, when you re-rack the weight, because the 10-pound plates were like plastic and thin and flimsy on the ends, when you put it down, they like start like shaking very obviously. I was like, that's no way 45-pound plates would do that, right? So I purposely cut the video right before I re-racked the weight too. The power of illusion right there. Anyway, why do we talk about this? Oh yeah, so Hungry Box. So yeah, I could probably pick up the chair too. I can't probably break it in half on stage.
I can't even do one singular pull-up.
To be fair, pull-ups are really hard to train without equipment. Like on a day-to-day basis, you don't use that upper back muscle like doing stuff. Like your other muscles you can't. Like you can't train pull-ups without like a pull-up bar or something to like pull on, right? Like it's very hard to do stationary. You can do push-ups, you can work your chest and stuff, right? But you can't do So anyway, that's okay. Kaz, if you want to learn, I can teach you. I've taught multiple people to do their first pull-up within a few months. I could have you doing your first pull-up unassisted within 3 months at max, maybe even sooner than that.
Are we gonna make a bet on this?
There's no bet needed. I'm telling you, I can guarantee it for you. As long as you follow what I tell you to do, you can do it. Yeah, don't have to take any illegal substance or anything like that. All natural. Don't. Yeah, him.
Let's get back to the Pokemon.
Yeah. Hit me up later for some coaching.
The Pokemon bit that's actually about Hungry Box.
Big weightlifting, as to be a chief said. I do know some stuff. Anyway, super freaking off tangent. So Hungrybox, known to slam chairs, break stuff, whatever, pop off, crazy pop off celebrations. He quote tweeted accent tweet saying like, "Wow, this is pretty wild, right? Like I've done like way crazier than stuff." Then like the next day, he Firestar was saying how he did an interview with someone, and maybe it'll come out later, right? Like they didn't release it yet because they said something about like Pokemon still doing an investigation. I don't know anything about that, but like maybe that's the case. I don't know. So, and then turns out the person that interviewed him was Hungrybox, and there's a picture of them in his like house, right, in his like office talking. I was like, what? Like this was like 25, less than 24 hours since the tournament. Like how, right? Turns out Hungrybox lives in Florida, so maybe even Orlando.
So
I don't
crazy.
know. So what are the odds of that, right? So Firestar did an interview with the king of pop-offs, apparently, one of the biggest Smash players ever. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to watch. It might not change the decision, whatever. Whether you like it or not, like at the end of the day, we are not in the position to make that decision, and whatever stands. And yeah, we'll see. Like it was either you, Kaz or Tristan. I forgot who mentioned it. Said ZZWise tweeted out that they haven't added the championship points yet from Orlando to the players. Play Pokemon profiles. They usually tweet out and post on Instagram the result winners of the tournaments over the weekend, and they didn't do that. They did it for the Mexico regional, but they didn't do it for Orlando. So maybe things will change. I don't know. But yeah,
I mean, again, don't know what we don't know, but I'm almost sure that there's probably some sort of investigation taking place. I mean, because I think Firestar has been doing a really good job of sort of towing the line between like, I get that you're frustrated. I'm frustrated too. I am speaking
no
up for
one's
myself.
more frustrated than Firestar. Yeah,
I am speaking up for myself, but please, like,
be
don't
respectful.
don't disrespect anyone like during this situation.
We could say what we say. There'll always be those bad apples that will be doing this kind of stuff, and it is what it is. But try to like, for those that are like, not usually bad apples, but might be upset, like just think it through a little bit, right? I think like the most important thing I'd like for people to think about is what does even help Firestar? If you're really trying to help Firestar, what does even help them? Right? Like, what's a death threat going to do for Firestar? Nothing, right? Yeah. Like that's not. He wouldn't want you to do that, right? It's just like
he's literally posted like, please don't attack the judges.
Yeah, exactly. He's posted like thanking them for doing what they do.
Yeah.
Which again I think is an act of service for all of us that we would only be worse off if we didn't.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but in 2022 when the circuit first started, understandably so, most of the judges, I think almost all the judges in the beginning, didn't play competitive Pokemon, right? They came from like the professor program. They were like helping out, and like no shade or hate to them either. I mean, they don't know because they don't know the intricacies of the game because they don't play it, but someone needs to judge these events, right? And these days, I think almost every one of our judges have played the game competitively or like played GBL, like know the mechanics, like our judges like know the game well, right? And again, I'm not even saying judges made the decision, but like regardless of which, like it just why send hate. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to try to justify why people do what they do, but again, this is a evolving situation. Who knows? But maybe by the time the podcast comes out, we get more word on it. Either way, just yeah, that's just kind of our thoughts on the situation. There's no tea topic because that's pretty much it. But
you mean that is the tea topic?
That's literally also, all of the tea.
Also,
just
related,
right out.
Funny little thing. Some person's tweet showed up on my feed, and they like were talking about it, and they said Firestar and Nighttime Crawler faced off.
Oh yeah,
and I was losing it at Nighttime Crawler.
That's a whole different IP right there. I guess Nighttime Clasher is kind of a different IP too because it came from like Brawl Stars. But anyway, that's pretty much the gist of Orlando. Overall, though, the tournament I thought was still pretty good, despite slight controversy in the end of it, and there's more to it. So let's actually talk about this first because this was teased at the end. Obviously, I was so befuddled I wasn't even like listening to what was happening in the closing lounge. But we did release the NAIC limited meta on broadcast. And there's a picture of it. Obviously, I'm going to attach on here. And straight from the stream, actually, you see Speed Chief and Alpha Phoebe in the corner. But types allowed for the NAIC meta, another limited meta, as a lot of people expected and predicted. I didn't even know as a caster, like, if it was going to be the case or not, but I guess there is. And types allowed: fairy, normal, psychic, water. Types banned: dark, grass, and steel. And then banned Pokemon itself, obviously you can see on the graphic, but if you're listening, Araquanid, Carbink, Chansey, Chinchou, Lantern, Claydol, Clefable, Cresselia, Dedenne, Diggersby, Farfetch, my bad. Furret, Gastrodon, Glycopod, Greedent, Jellicent. I mean, I can name all the rest, but like, you just take a look at the graphic online and stuff. Lugia's banned too, which is crazy. And Rotom Wash, I think. I don't know which one that is.
Rangaroo.
Well, a Rangaroo actually could be good in limited meta. It's really Lugia? That's crazy. That's crazy. Is Lugia?
I'm
Lugia
still
been
really
that
mad
good?
that they banned Farfetch'd.
Okay, I guess like
Really
Lugia,
mad.
like you don't have dark types, but you still have electric types. I guess you don't have steel. You have ghost types too. Like, what? How would Lugia be that good, dude? They're holding.
Wait,
they're
what?
holding me
What
back.
ghost?
They heard of my old Sylph days of the Lugia meta.
Wait, what ghost types are there?
What do you mean? What ghost types are there? Oh,
like
sorry, you're right. Oh, you're right.
banned.
Is there no ghost types at Malmar? Oh no. That's not ghost type. Yeah. Is there any ghost type? Oh, Jellicent's banned.
Hisuian Zoroark and what?
Yeah, ain't no way that thing loses the Lugia, right?
And what's the psychic ghost? The mythical one.
Oh, Marshadow.
Hoopa.
Oh, Hoopa. Yeah.
Oh.
Hoopa.
Hoopa even allowed? Like, is Hoopa even like CP low enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember people using Hoopa in like Psychic Cup.
Not the army form. The little guy.
Yeah. Well, Azumo's not banned. It's fairy water. Someone said in comments. Quagsire also not banned. So the Azuma could provide some bulk to the team. There's a lot of electrics banned and a lot in grasses banned. So Azuma might be feasting here. And steel, like what? What's stopping Azuma? Poison? Well, how many poisons are there? Poison normal? Graphii? What?
Yeah, you have like Tentacruel, Quillfish. I think Galarian Slowking looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you have like Alolan Raichu.
Yeah.
Gallade might also be interesting.
I haven't looked into the meta, but this one might be a little bit more RPS than the last two. Probably, I mean, it's hard to be less RPS than the UIC one. I think that meta was actually one of the best metas I've ever seen.
Oh, and then you have there's like other electric damage like Thunderbolt Miltank and like Wild Charge double.
I mean, Azuma has played to those, but yeah, I see your point. Okay. I mean, I'm down to see how it goes. It looks like this meta has a little bit more bulk than the last one for sure, but maybe even more than LAIC meta. So that makes things a little bit more flexible for sure.
Yeah, the big thing is like
shadows
are allowed. Shadows are allowed, and also there's like we had the Crest and Lugia bans, which means like they haven't said any ban for legendaries or mythicals either.
No.
But the big thing is like yeah, you can like look at like PV Poke rankings, but we don't know like because there's like we said before, there's a June move update, so like we don't know what might change between like what looks good right now and like what is good then. Like who knows? Maybe Azumarill gets nerfed. Like hard to say.
Yeah, it's true. I think Azuma's actually still in a good spot. I think he's still in a quite good spot, but
Azumarill's always pretty safe, but I mean, I do think that there's a little bit of balance there because there's a lot of neutral damage as we've seen with all the other like IC.
I do wonder though, when Tristan said that, what if the people who made this meta knew that Azuma was going to be nerfed this upcoming season, and that's what they're like, it's got less checks here, but I don't know.
Before we,
I'm spitballing. I have no
idea. When we were in the car riding back from Orlando, and we were kind of speculating because it was pretty obvious that it was going to be the NAIC meta announcement, and we were kind of speculating. I kind of was like, well, keep in mind whatever we see sort of featured here, I think is what we can expect from the upcoming attack update.
Yeah.
Whoa, someone's getting sassy.
Well, that's
My cat has a lot of thoughts about the NAIC meta.
Tristan's cat going to NAIC has complaints.
The
Breaking news.
the cat says that Del Caddy has a wild charge, so keep that in mind.
Oh,
so true.
that's a good point. Thank you, Tristan's cat.
I did a little TikTok filter for my cats, and like it shows like what Pokemon they be. Cheggy was Purloin, which cat like. Cranberry was Snorlax. Did her dirty on that one. The Chongus.
That's savage.
I know. I was like, what the heck?
Not even like a
filter
Perugly or
shaming my
something?
cat. What's happening? Okay, registration for NAIC, definitely important information. So,
Oh yeah.
so they go live on the 14th, Wave 1, 7 p.m. Central. So that is GMT -5, I believe. And then Wave 2 is April 15th, the very next day, 9 a.m. Central. So that's GMT -5. So just do the calculation there. But that's 7 a.m. or on the first day, it's 5 a.m. Pacific.
No, it's 7 p.m.
Oh, sorry. Oh no. What? Oh, I missed that. Yeah. 7. Okay.
What are you doing?
That makes more sense. All right. So first day, 14. Sorry, my bad. April 14, 7 p.m. Central Time. 7 p.m. GMT -5, which is 5 p.m. Pacific, and 8 p.m. Eastern, and then of course do your calculations from there. And then for the 15th, the very next day, so less than or like exactly what 14 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
9
it's not
a.m.
even a day later.
Yeah, so those are 2 waves. I don't think that I think spectator tickets are like a date after that. So just keep that in mind. But I don't
think they might be the same. I think
it was a
year
day.
they were
It
the
was a
same.
different day. It was like a day or 2 later. I remember seeing the
Mhm.
website. Yeah.
No, it was the same time last year.
No, I'm saying this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I did look at it specific because I have some friends that are like curious about going, but what do you call it? So I don't think Go will sell out right away, but you never know, or it's like we ain't no EUIC, but we still growing too. So maybe it could be good. Obviously timing is also a big issue, right? Because like for like some Europeans or like from other regions in general, if they already have their worlds locked in and they don't need like a travel ward, then they're just like, why spend the money to go to NAIC when you could just save for worlds, right? Which is totally fair. For a lot of NA people, that would be the last and final push. So
I mean, it's technically the last and final push for everyone, right?
True,
That's
true,
the
true.
last time you can get championship
yeah,
points.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I feel like a lot of Europeans don't usually go because one, a lot of other Europeans don't go, so they usually have their spot locked in. Does that make sense?
No, because I'm just thinking of last year, like Pato, Arceus Aurelius.
Yeah, but those are like the very top of the top, right? There's way more proportionality of NA players chasing that top like final like cutoff on the leaderboards than EU players, right? Like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's some
So,
EU players that are trying to fight for their
there will be
qualification.
Europeans there.
I hope so.
and-
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I welcome it. Europeans, LATAM, Oceania, like even APAC, like go for it.
Yeah.
APAC is a lot harder because I think that would be their last chance to qualify in general for a top 4 to get that qualification if they're not from this region or not from in the TPCI region.
Yeah.
But it is such like if that's their last hope, a lot of them might not even go because it's just like, it's like that's tough to get top 4 at an international. To qualify.
Well, and especially if it's like a different meta and you have like a week and a half from the move update to like truly prepare.
Yeah.
So like that'll be interesting, but like it's not necessarily that much different than like last year, for example. Like sure, it was Open Great League, but it was still only like a week or so from the move update till the actual NAIC, and like the move update like definitely shook things up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's not like really that different in that regard.
That's fair. Okay. Anyway,
and then one last thing is just again another reminder. If you're gonna like sign up for Worlds XP to join that interest list by the 23rd.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
So
Jen is on it.
good. Yeah. So you have until the 23rd, which means that's not like a first come first serve, but the lottery chances. I don't know. I don't know how many people are signing up for it. My guess is going to be kind of on the slimmer side because it's like of getting a chance to win it because this is a 30th anniversary. So I'm assuming they're going to go all out. But I'm sure a lot of people listening to this podcast probably know some people that might qualify. And at least in years past, I don't know about this year, but in years past, every competitor gets to bring 2 spectators, like 2+.
I believe it says that. Yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay. Yeah. I think there's also maybe some application for creators. I don't know where that is specifically, but I think I saw someone post about it. So if you're a creator, you can apply for that too, some creator access. I know our co-caster Steve has gone as a creator for the past 2 years, I think, at least.
Not last year.
Last year he was qualified.
Oh, right, yeah, not last year. Well, he originally got the media pass and then, competed. But the year before that, and maybe in Japan too, he might have had the creator
And
pass.
I know because I was his guest.
Oh, snap. Who's the second one?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well.
Secrets.
Yeah, secrets. That's going to do it for the championship series. I felt like we've been talking about it for a while, which I guess we have. But
there was a lot to talk about.
There are a lot to talk about. There are a lot to talk about. It's ongoing development on the happenings here. But again, all we can say is be respectful and see how things go. Because as far as I know, but what do I know? Things are not. I don't think these are completely set in stone yet. Okay, we have some YouTube comments to cover as well as Podbean comments. So let's start with the YouTube comments and then see how it goes. Oh, funny enough, Zionic actually posted a "Where Has Zionic Been" video, 14 minutes. I would definitely be watching that after this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been playing his other games, right? Like,
well, I don't know, actually.
That's just it.
What other games? I actually don't know. So he had another YouTube channel, but I think he even stopped making videos on that one. Oh, Angel of the Palace says, don't forget to redeem your Kaz's Corner promo code. And then we have some comments on Podbean. I remember I saw this actually last week, but Kaz was, I think, already off by then. So
yeah, I did leave early.
So I want to make sure she was here for the official Gen translations. Not that I don't think any were particularly needed, but okay. So this was last week, and oh shoot. Okay, well, first last week, Jen says, "Congrats, Tristan." Thanks. She did spell your name wrong.
Thanks, Jen.
Tristan with an A, not a.
Oh
an E.
yeah, she doesn't know. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I think most people do spell with an A though, right? Or is it like
yeah?
It legitimately tries to autocorrect it to that on my phone sometimes.
Well, because you ain't texting Tristan enough, I guess.
Apparently not.
I'd be
Tristan,
throwing that
we just
E.
need to get on the phone more.
They be or be texting more because they be doing the other way around for me. But
yeah. Most people spell it with an A. I think I've met one person that spelled it with an I and one person that spelled it with an O.
No, what? Tristan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, but were they like American or was it like a European origin?
I don't remember. I was like a little kid at the time, and it was just like impressed to meet someone with my same name. But then I was like, "Oh, you spell it really weird."
Says the man that spells with the E.
I remember there was like, and
I guess the further you go down the
title.
alphabet, the weirder it is, right?
Exactly.
I don't remember the actual title, but like there was a book I read as a kid, like some fantasy novel for young adults, where like there was a girl character who was really cool, and her name was Tristan, like with an A, and I was like, yeah, and then ever since then, only guys.
Yeah, I mean, anything could be. I've seen a few names like
yeah,
that.
I've met way more guy Tristans, but I have known of a couple females as well.
Really?
So.
Okay, and then from 2 weeks ago, this is the stuff I missed. Jen says, out of San Diego, the TSA pre-check line took me 1 hour to get through. Ridiculous. I bought red check to not wait with the plebs. What's red check? Oh, recheck? Oh, recheck.
Oh.
Sorry. What's recheck?
Yeah.
Is that similar to like clear? I'm assuming it's probably just like.
I think so.
I haven't heard of it either, but like I know clear like isn't at every airport, so I'm assuming
I've never
just,
even
like...
seen. I don't even know what recheck is. Yeah. And then Jen also says, Caleb going off about people getting mad when he presents data to the internet and people still mad. Welcome to the internet, bruh. LOL. James Franco meme. First time.
Today also was gonna
it was probably the Cicero discussion, the nerfs and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I couldn't place what that was.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so much has happened since. Who cares about Scissor these days?
Nobody. Ain't nobody talking about Scissor anymore, that's for sure.
You know, I will say there's always something for Pokemon Go every week. There's always something. And the Artist Dragon says, I think the RPS conversation deserves that in-depth YouTube video. It has existed since the beginning and nothing has changed. You can nerf and buff all you want, but it won't solve RPS. We need a new mechanic. 4v4, baby. That's all I'm asking for. But I will say this. This is something I thought about maybe after our recording because I don't think I mentioned it on the episode. I think Tristan kind of alludes to this a little bit, like, you know, scale down power creep. I think the issue I have when you nerf certain things that are like solid in the meta is unless you nerf everything that's really solid, you create an imbalanced meta inherently. Because if you nerf Cicero, but you don't nerf Jellicent, you don't nerf Azumarill, you don't nerf like Empoleon, all this stuff, right? They stay super strong, and you have to hope that anything else you buff up, like Fortress, so I mean, obviously it is relevant these days, and like Quagsire, so obviously again relevant. So I think those are good buffs in my mind. Like they can match the power level of it, but then you take out other things that could used to be able to match the power level completely out of the equation, and so you either you for sure shrink the meta, but you can also unbalance the meta severely too, right? Obviously, those are not mutually exclusive. You can shrink the meta, but still make it like the meta is still fairly balanced, right? It's just that
it becomes the Ouroboros eating its own tail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
so I again, like I think it is I'm not saying I have all the solutions by any means, right? It is not an easy job to do. I don't envy the developers that have to do all this stuff, but I think that is something to consider. Is like people are like, why is it so RPS, or why is this stuff like we go just in like 3-month cycles of like this thing needs a nerf, now this thing needs a nerf. I'm like, no one was complaining about Wicked Like, I mean, some people were, right? But not as many people were complaining about it 2 GBL seasons combined ago, right? For the past 6 months. As much. Some for sure, but not as much, right? Because you really nerfed the damage on it. It's more energy generating, and it's still kind of slow on that respect. So, like, I thought it was fine, and I still kind of think it's fine. But it's because, you know, what's good in today's meta, Wigglytuff is a really good counter to it that the other fairies just cannot really hold a candle to. Togekiss, decent though, obviously, and the past few tournaments have said so, but it's just not as many fairies that can. They're not like as evenly spread out, right? Like Florges is way weaker than it was in the past 6 months meta. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I do think in-depth YouTube video could be good. I need to think on that a little bit and see, like, if I make one, like how do I frame it, right? And also, like, what does it do? What if I make a video? So what? The dev's going to be like, man, Caleb's right. Let's follow everything. Because I had a video talking about how to get rid of queue times. And to this day, I've never met anyone that watched that video and was like, that's a bad idea. That would not fix queue times. Like, legitimately, it is foolproof. But obviously, you have to code it. You have to convince the devs to do it. But, like, it should work really, really well. Right? I thought it through a lot. And you know why I know it works well? I've said this in past podcasts, but maybe not everyone's listened to it. I know it works really well because I stole the idea from a different game I used to play, and it worked for that game. It's not even an original idea of mine, right? But obviously, I'm translating to like how you can apply it to Pokemon Go. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm just going on too many rants here at this point. All to say is I can make a YouTube video, but it might not make any difference. But it could be an interesting discussion point, and I think that is always good. Anyway,
speaking of videos,
what video? What
your Aegislash video.
Yeah, what about it?
I
still think it's good.
I still think it's good.
Just because Adib doesn't necessarily agree with it doesn't mean it's not good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I'm just saying I think there may have been some slight misinformation.
Maybe a little bit. All right, so you want to explain the background on that before we close it out, in case anyone else watched my Aegislash video and takes it like as the word of God, and even though
like, I mean, the main point Caleb made, which is like the most important thing for people to know, because so many of us didn't realize this, is like the whole like half level thing with the blade form. And like people will be like, you know, appraising their, you know, their Honedge and, you know, whatever, you know, IV checker app, and it'll tell them like, oh, this is like a rank 47 in blade form, but it's, you know, telling them it's at like a rank, like, you know, level 22.5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be lower rank. Like, that's all correct for sure.
Yeah.
The one thing is that the CP or the HP actually copies over from the shield form.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that part. I didn't say that though in the video, but my screenshots of the HP in the video are the blade form ones, even though it always copies it from the shield form. Because I was super confused when I was making the video. I was like, why is people showing the HP in orange and it's like still the shield form? I'm like, what is happening? So I'll just like constantly refresh it until it went away. Or like, because I legit didn't know that either. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the thing was because I don't know if I know that on the podcast you mentioned how like CTU thought that like, oh, if he had more HP from the extra half level,
That's
he
just what
would
I
have like
recall him saying, but I don't know.
survived.
Maybe I'm misquoting him. Yeah.
But yeah, so like the thing is like really the point comes down to like you should check what you have and look at the actual stats and see like if it matters or not. Because like I think we talked about this, like the rank 1 like blade form
Blade, yeah.
or sorry, rank 1 shield form.
Yeah.
I said the wrong thing. Only goes to 1449 CP in blade form, but because the rank 1 shield form has a lot of HP, it ends, even though it's like a half level underpowered, it actually has more HP than a lot of the blade forms that get to 1500 CP.
True, yeah.
So like, and again, it's something that's like so squishy. So like the extra defense like might not get it more bulk points that are important. And like
Yeah.
the extra attack might not make a big difference either. So like there's times where the extra HP is the best way to add bulk to it. So again, like it's hard to say, and like you should look at the specific stats to see what makes sense, but like it's not necessarily worse and it might be better in some cases.
Yeah, for sure. I do think though, when I was arguing with the D about this in a group chat you were in as well, Tristan, like he brought up like these are the matchups you lose with like if you lose this half level, right? And I'm just like, some of these are pretty meta Pokemon, you know? Like I was like, of course, like it doesn't really work that way as cleanly because, like I mean, 2 shield like blade form. I don't know. It's just simming blade form is very, very difficult because to get to the blade form, you are never starting at even energy, even shield, even health, right? There's just no way. Like it's not possible because you have to like build up energy and all this other shit.
Right. And yeah, and the thing too is like again, you have to factor in both, but like the bulk of the time you're going to be in the shield form too. So I think optimizing that makes more sense most of the time. But like I think what we were looking at with the D was like what bulk points you got from the extra half level. And like I think there was maybe 1 or 2 relevant ones. Like I want to say maybe Shadow Quag.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other bulk points were like either Pokemon that aren't very common or were like 4 and 5 turn moves where like the bulk point doesn't matter and like you're just better off with extra HP. So like it's mostly just something to be aware of and like check your own options. But I think there's both merit to like a high bulk one that doesn't get to as good of a CP, especially if it has high HP, because that ports over. But then there's also obviously merit to the blade forms that do go like close to 1500. So like it really just comes down to like not even the CP or the rank, but looking at the individual stats, the attack, the defense, the HP, and like see what that does for you and how it compares to other options.
Yeah, I think those are all fair points. I mean, I would treat this almost like optimizing IVs for like really any PvP Pokemon, right? Like if you just like a high rank, I don't know, like high rank Fortress versus like a slightly lower rank one. Like there's gonna be pros and cons. I think the main reason why I want to make this video is because each shot's a super expensive investment, right? And
people don't know the information.
And people don't know it because I didn't know it either, right? Like it does change what I make too because I was just like, I have 2 Aegislash. Like one's like a rank 40 something, one's like a rank 50 something in the shield form. That's not that big difference. If I could get a half level like extra on my blade form, shoot, I'll go for that, right? I'd rather go for that than the one that's half a level below, right? Obviously, I have a rank 1 shield form and like a rank 200 shield form. That's a bigger difference, right? And like maybe it's worth it to have missing the half level on blade form, as Tristan says.
Yeah, and a lot. Yeah, I did see a lot of people that were like, "Oh, I saw Caleb's video. I didn't know about this. Like, I had no idea." So, like, in general, I'm glad you made it and like helped to educate because like this is like I think not many people have really even looked at Aegislash until recently. So just helping get that information out so people can make more informed decisions on like what they want to build.
And we don't know because we haven't heard anything from Niantic saying like, this is what do you call it? Related to like how why this mechanic exists. So maybe it's like, what if it's just spaghetti code and they fix it down the road, and then all of a sudden your rank 1 Aegis Slash is at the right level? Maybe not, but either way, like Aegis Slash as a mechanic itself is just very confusing. Like they never fully explain why it charges slower in the shield form versus the blade form and all that stuff. We did some Aegis Slash play in Orlando actually, and at times it looked really good, and other times it looked awful. It looked
it still
so
feels
bad.
like super awkward.
Yeah.
Like
It is
even
a very
because
high skill Pokemon in my mind.
I mean those matches of Jigglypuff versus Arrow with the Arrow having the Aegis Slash were just like you kind of it's so awkward because like Jigglypuff has to sit there and like overcharge forever because you can't actually throw until it's in like the sword form, it's so awkward for everyone. And like Arrow's not going to throw until he's got more than 2 shadow balls. It's just so deeply weird feeling still, even though it's like technically unbanned now.
Anyway, so my favorite comment from my video is, I'm not sure about your info, and I only skimmed the video, but you should likely look into the IVs because the 01415 at level 22.5 puts Aegis Slash Blade Form exactly at 1500. Opposite that, 01214 at level 50 puts your shield form at 1500 CP. I was like, well, you probably shouldn't have only skimmed the video because that's my whole point, is that the blade form can't be half a level. Like, yeah, the 22.5 can be, but like it can't be. That's the whole point I made the video.
Oh my God.
That's okay. 2026, man. Everyone's attention span's short. I forgive them. But I mean, I clarified. I was like, yeah, that's actually why I made this video. So I was like, I explained it more in detail in the video, but in case you don't want to watch the rest, which is fine. Like, let me just explain. Like I get it. Like that's the whole point. You can't get a half level. You can't get that 0.5 ever on any blade form right now, at least. So. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. I'm going to go watch where Zion has been after this. So, I'm
that's what I'm
going
to do. No, I'm just kidding. I have to do my taxes.
Same.
Me 3. Yeah.
Maybe Zionic can do our taxes.
Sign up for NAIC as a reward.
That is good. Yeah, because taxes are due the day after that, or the day of if you're signing up on day number 2.
Good luck to everyone signing up for NAIC. I hope you all.
I hope it sells out too. I mean, I hope everyone that really wants to go goes, but I hope Go sells out because I think we've done good regional wise participation in like the past year or two. Like we've been constantly growing, but our NAIC numbers are always like a lot lower than I want it to be. There's always a lot of no shows too, but
yeah, I think part of the problem, which you sort of mentioned before, is like the timing of NAIC, because I think like really for any region, including NA itself, like there's a lot of people that already have their invite basically locked up, and so they don't feel like they need to go because like mathematically they're pretty set. And then there's going to be other people who like mathematically can't qualify unless they get top 4, and so they might skip it because there's like, well, there's no point. So it's at an awkward spot where, like, for example, EUIC is like early enough in the season still where like if you have a good run there, like you could go to a couple more tournaments or do some locals and like get the points you need maybe. But NAIC is like at that end where like a lot of people are either like in or out and don't feel like they need it.
I know that I cannot qualify unless I basically win, but I still want to go because of the chaos of a limited meta. Like right after an attack update is going to be insane, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. My guess is Worlds will probably be in a more open meta, but
That would be my guess.
Yeah, I think like it's a good way. Like the majority of tournaments this year were all in open, right? So it would make sense. But I will say
Yeah.
these limited metas are quite good. Oh, you know what would be kind of cool? I think if we do power rankings. I've seen this for like other like esports and stuff, where like we could each make our own power rankings. We'll do like our top 20 power rankings for like going to worlds, and then we could compare our list. We'll do like we could do our fun like drafting too. But the power rankings are
We
very
didn't do.
Huh?
We actually didn't. Oh no, we did the group draft.
We did the group draft, yeah.
time.
We've done the
Yeah,
group draft for the past 2 years. But I think doing a power rankings, because group draft is like, oh, let's say if you think Podemon, like, I'd be curious, right? Maybe you think Podemon's number 2 in the world, and I think it's 1, and Tristan might think he's like 2 or 1 or something, or 3 or whatever, right? And so like it would be cool to compare like different like power ranking lists and stuff, and maybe other people can make their own too if they like. I think it'd be cool. It's just like a good way to like, because there's gonna be some time between NAIC and Worlds. Like it's a good way to hype up and build up the hype.
We have a lot of time this year. Worlds is so late.
Oh yeah, isn't it like end of August or something?
It's the last weekend of August.
Oh, that is super late. Why is it so much later this year? Is it maybe a venue like?
I have no idea, but it's like way later than it's been, at least since Go has been.
I feel like that's hard for people that go into college and stuff.
It's crazy too because it's like presumably Worlds will happen and like 3 days later we'll get the September move update like live.
There's that. And then usually the new season starts in like early to mid September. So next regional might be like a week or two after Worlds.
That too. Yep. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know why it's like so late.
It's Jen's birthday.
The Worlds weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. Jen better be going.
I mean, we're signed up.
I feel like we know enough people that could potentially like give Jen an extra spot.
I have leads.
Yeah.
You know what? It's fine. Kaz is just going to get top for NAIC and give Jen the
pass. We need to break this down. So if Jen's there, do we watch the uncut Lord? Like, it's just not possible to fit that time in, right? Like, how much time is there? Like, do I have to book an extra day at World just to do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it's not worth it, but
if you want to do all three, which is
what about you all? It's not just me. Like, everyone has to do it, right? It can't just
listen. Jen has already endured watching the extended.
Dude, I fell asleep during K-pop Demon Hunters, and that's like an hour and a half movie.
Okay. Listen, we'll pick one.
we haven't even seen like the mithril mail yet on Frodo, and I'm already knocked out. Like.
Well, maybe this time we won't do it like
Gollum hasn't even joined Frodo on his adventures yet, and I'm ready.
Maybe we won't do it the next day. Maybe
but it can't be the day before either, because then I'm just like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We should. I do like that we did something that Monday morning, so maybe we can do something. But
yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we pick one Tolkien movie. Just one.
Well, you gotta start with the first one then, right?
No, you gotta watch all the Hobbit movies first.
Oh God, don't make me.
Yeah. The only good thing about the Hobbit movies is the Smaug reference I could keep making in my thumbnails and Steve's thumbnails, but
yeah,
that's about it. Anyway, yeah, we'll figure something out for that. But when's the next tournament? Not next weekend.
So I mean, there's like APAC stuff happening every weekend.
Yeah.
But Prague is the next TPCI tournament, which is like the 25th.
Oh, okay. This is their March tournament. No, wait, didn't they have Seville? Was like the other day. They have double in March. Do they have any in April?
It's April. This is April.
This is April. Caleb.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Caleb, your birthday is April 1st.
Seville was. Oh yeah, right. That was in March. Yeah.
Oh my God. All those weights that you lifted really put your brain out of order.
He dropped them on his head.
I skipped a day or two of creatine, so my brain's not functioning at maximum.
Oh my God.
Okay.
At maximum, this is like not even minimum.
It's also not maximum. It's all accurate.
we're 9 days into the month of April, and Caleb still thinks it's March.
No. Anyway,
Time is an illusion.
let's move on. We'll catch you all next week. All right. Until then, have a good one. Just let us know your own comments down below about all the random things we talked about, and best luck on Tinkatink Community Day. Peace.